Time's running out, down to 2 days. This is Saturday morning. Must be the last day of September, and anyway, Monday morning I'm going to be taking off for home. So got an early start this morning, about before the sun came up, I think. Went up and did a little more pothole work on the beaver dam. Picked up this fencing. It was around a white pine tree that years ago I came across while doing some clearing, and it was about that big, and I wanted to save it, so I put the wire around to keep the deer away from it, and it worked. It's 20 feet tall now, so there's another young white pine I spotted up the trail the other way that I think it needs a little protection. It's been hidden under the snow the last couple of years, but it's going to poke its nose out this year, and the deer are certainly going to ruin it. So I'm going to go up there and put this, I'll reuse the wire again and get a cage put around it, and then I can watch it grow over the years I have left up here. Got another load of the good gravel for the wild chickens, my spruce grouse. I'm going to pour it in here and try to get this built up heavier, and then some years I want to do it this year because it's been really dry and it's easy to push the wheelbarrow. That's like a quarter mile up to where I'm getting this gravel. And when the ground's hard and firm, it goes a lot better than soft and squishy with that wheelbarrow. So one last load, getting all these projects, kind of finish this up, get this taken care of, get the wheelbarrow home. All my tools are in the shed. I don't have any saws or anything staged out in the country anymore. So the last days as I'm here, I'm always kind of taking that in mind and getting things back home. Now I'm going to dump this in there and go in, and I did get an early start, so I'm going to take a little break and have some coffee. Got a lot of log work to do over here later, but I'm wondering, it's a nice day, it's hunting season, maybe some people will stop by, and if I'm moving logs, maybe somebody will yank a couple with me. Who knows? I even got a little bit of chocolate cake in there. That's not my diet. My diet, I know. But I was going down to see that neighboring hunting camp last night, so I took a few brats along to throw on the grill, and I made up a chocolate cake in the afternoon, knowing I wouldn't have to eat it. I could take it down there. Well, they clobbered most of it. I brought a little bit home, so I could actually, if somebody come into work today, I could maybe entice them a little chocolate cake and coffee. Last night down there, it was a really good time to meet these guys down there. They're really gung-ho. They got some different camps around, and they're really interested. They're out, doing like I do, doing trail work, doing some wildlife openings, for the future. They do a lot of hunting in different places, and so one of the things on the menu last night was grilled antelope. I've heard a lot about antelope. That tastes like sagebrush and everything else. Well, the antelope they had, it certainly wasn't eating too much sage, I think they kind of mentioned that it's all about taking care of it right. You get hunting antelope out there and it's hot, and you really got to be on top of your meat, I think. And so these guys knew what they were doing, and they brought back some delicious antelope for the grill. I appreciated it. So it was a fun time down there. So anyway, better get moving. Only got 2 days left. That ought to keep them picking and grinning for quite a while. Here's the white pine that I want to get protected. See how it's doing really well, but with it getting up like this, when the deer will come along next year, and they'll just start nibbling down on this thing. I think I can see down here they might have already eaten it off one time, but the trunk looks pretty sound. What I'm trying to avoid is that they get so much damage that even if they grow to be a bigger tree, there's going to be weak spots in there like this one over here. Tree has some nice height to it. It's probably about 9 feet tall, and maybe it's going to make it, but as I look down below, you can see, well, all those branches, see how it's all bare there? That's because the deer could reach up and they eat all that. But down below, there's so many other branches coming out that I'm afraid it's just the integrity of the tree for the future is probably in question. Ideally, in 150 years, this tree that I'm protecting right now will grow up into a beauty like that one. I've watched numerous white pines. Because there's some big white pines, they cone come down and they seed, but I've just watched numerous white pines right in this area get a start, and then the deer wipe them out. So ideally, with a little work today, you can save one. Get this all wound around and put it around here. Can't save them all, but hopefully as I come by in the future I can see how my little white pine's doing. Sometimes you stumble across some better ways of doing things. Water's usually scarce around here. Well, this year I picked up a couple inches of rain while I've been here, so we got plenty of water. And this in here was good, kind of pre-filtered, good straight water. So I kind of left it alone, and I brought this big tub out here to catch more. And it's been really handy because I could just come out and take the coffee pot and just dip in there. I'm not having to refill the jugs inside or anything. If I want the dishwater, I've used some up. I got the other pan. Just dip it out of the reservoir. Worked really good. Another thing is I had this other pan of water out here, and I found out that I'm up there working the trail. I'm coming back you're out just getting that sand and dirt. I just found out if I get in there and I can get most of it off there. Go inside. I got a towel hanging to dry off, and then I'm all cleaned up. Well, some things are good, and then you learn, like I really liked having this open reservoir. Boy, I could just dip in there. Well, I don't know how in the world he climbed up that tub and got in there. So, yeah, the best laid plans don't always work out as the best. So. Got that nice early start. The sun's getting a little higher. You can see it's just breaking over the trees. Starting to shine back into my wood yard back there. There's a lot of wood back there, logs I'd like to move around, get them up off the ground. It's going to be kind of the project around the camp here next couple days. And I don't know, maybe those guys... You never know, somebody might stop in and see me working and throw a few logs with me. You never know. Certainly not necessary, but sometimes it works out that way. I certainly looking forward to getting a crew in here. I'm looking at, next fall pretty seriously now. October of 2024. Anybody that's wanting to come up and camp out, we'll have some food and a cook here, and we'll have all the logs there. We'll probably have the first bottom already done, so we can just go to town cutting out and notching logs and laying them out. We'll see how that works out, but I think the plan's coming along nicely. I only got today and tomorrow here now. I got to head home, and not sure if I'm going to make it back up again this fall before the snow flies or not, but I got to get my great niece married off. Then bow and arrow for deer season's open down there, and it's be a good time to maybe put some meat in the freezer. We don't use that much anymore, but if we have that cabin raising party up here, I may need an extra supply of venison backstrap to keep everybody happy and well fed. So maybe give me a reason to put a little more in the freezer than usual. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to a nice couple of last days. It's supposed to be really nice. I mean, actually too hot to be working. It's cool right now. In fact, I had a shirt on up the trail, and it must have dropped off the wheelbarrow on the way back, but I'll go up and retrieve that. I had the fire going this morning because it was chilly. For the fact that the chilliest it's been since I got here, probably. So you got a few more days of hot weather up here, and then they're gonna go back down to normal or below. So been a good time. We're going to close out this morning's video. We're going to be up on that good Beaver Dam camera. Going to go up and watch the dogs walk.